Well, she's leaving, I'm going.
Yeah, it's just going to be signing in.
Private sector. They're squeezing. What's that? They're squeezing them in the private sector. Ornament. Eric. Oh, did you change those? Yeah. Over with, good firm over in Rockford. Isn't that? Yeah.
It's got to be in this one. Could be. Because
Okay.
that's good.
Yeah, they're almost full card.
Yeah.
Okay, good evening. Linda, could you please give the invocation?
Let us bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you that you are Lord and all authority and rule belongs to you. As we come to you tonight, we pray over this city and this meeting. We invite your presence to reside over every discussion that endures here this evening. Lord, the winter has been long here in more ways than one. The winter, physically, mentally, and emotionally, has been long. It is time for the winter to be over, and it is time for the treasures that have been hidden in this city and in every person in this city to come forth. So from this place of legislation tonight, we release life, unity, truth, righteousness, justice, multiplication, and prosperity to this city and every person who lives here. Let the springs of life spring forth and release water to the hungry and thirsty souls, and may Freeport shine with your light and be a forerunner as it was intended to be. And let it start tonight as decisions are made, people are honored, and new life is brought into this city. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Linda. Now we'll officially call this meeting to order. Madam Clerk, could you please take the roll?
One moment, please. Present in person, Mayor Miller.
Here.
Alderpersons present in person, McClanathan,
Present.
Ross,
Here.
Parker,
Present?
and Busker.
Present.
Alderpersons attending via teleconference, we have Brashaw,
Present.
Mysick,
Present.
and Berbere.
Present.
I believe Alderperson Borneman will be joining us a bit later.
He's going to zoom in.
Zoom in later, okay. Not present at the moment, though. Staff attending in person, Manager Bucas,
Present.
Director Richter, Hines, Boyer, Chief Summers,
Present.
Director Stromberg, Huffines, Clerk Anderson is present in person. Attending remotely, Chief Liggett,
Present.
and also present in person, Attorney Zito. Thank you, Mayor Miller.
Thank you. If you could please stand and join us with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Alderman Berbere.
I pledge allegiance to the republic for which it with and justice for all.
Okay, item number 1 is the approval of the agenda. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion made by Alderman Busker, seconded by Alderman Ross. Madam Clerk, could you please take the roll?
Berbere,
Aye.
McClanathan,
Aye.
Ross,
Aye.
Parker,
Aye.
Busker,
Aye.
Brashaw,
Aye.
and Mysick.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. Item number 2 is the approval from the minutes from the regular council meeting on March 1st, 2021. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion made by Alderman Parker, seconded by Alderman Busker. Madam Clerk, would you please take the roll?
Berberay,
Aye.
McClanathan,
Aye.
Ross,
Aye.
Parker,
Aye.
Busker,
Aye.
Brashaw,
Aye.
and Mizek.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
And there were no public comments signed up for agenda items. We'll move on to item number 4, which is the consent agenda. The consent agenda is considered to be routine in nature unless there's something that the member of council would like to have removed for further discussion. Seeing none, the consent agenda consists of approving and placing on file the board and commission minutes from the Foreign Fire Insurance Board from December 10th, 2020, and the Liquor Commission from January 14th, 2021, as well as building permit reports from February 2021, the monthly police report from December 2020 and January 2021, and the Freeport Housing Authority monthly report from February 2021. Also is the approval of finance bills in the amount of $1,179,041.74 and payroll for pay period ending February 27th, 2021 in the total of $521,187.82. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion made by Alderman Busker, seconded by Alderman Berberay. Madam Clerk, could you please take the roll?
Berberay,
Aye.
McClanathan,
Aye.
Ross,
Aye.
Parker,
Aye.
Busker,
Aye.
Brashaw,
Aye.
and Mizek.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
No? There, thank you. Ricky, can you join me? Good evening. I'd just like to take a moment to present a proclamation. Can you hear okay with this? Yeah. On behalf of the city, I would like to read this proclamation for you. Whereas Mickey R. Martin has devoted many years of public service to elected assemblies and organizations within the city of Freeport and Stevenson County, and whereas Mickey R. Martin has served multiple terms as a member of the City Council of Freeport and also as a trustee for the Freeport Township, and whereas Mickey R. Martin has also served as a member of the Executive Committee of the Mental Health Association and as a member of the 708 Mental Health Board of Directors. And whereas Mickey R. Martin, through her family and her efforts, and the Lincoln Douglas Society members, developed the Lincoln Douglas Debate Statue as a part of the expansion and the renewal of the Freeport Debate Site. And whereas, over the years, Mickey R. Martin has devoted countless hours to the betterment of our community through her involvement in numerous volunteer and not-for-profit organizations. And now, therefore, I, Jody Miller, Mayor of the City of Freeport, by the authority vested in me, do hereby recognize and honor Mickey R. Martin as she moves from our community to be closer to her family. We hereby extend our community's best wishes to Mickey R. Martin and her family in appreciation for her many years of dedicated public service to our area residents. So thank you, Mickey. I also have, in sincere appreciation of your many years of service to the community, I am honored to be able to present you with this plaque presented by the League of Women Voters of Freeport. So many best wishes in your future endeavors, and we appreciate all that you have done for our community.
I can't tell you what an honor it is after having served 14 years and frequently being the only woman on the city council back in those years. I wasn't the first, I was the second. But my honor to be able to receive this from our first elected woman mayor. Jody, I thank you.
It's my pleasure.
I also want to say that in my journey in Freeport, I have met some awesome people that I have had a great privilege to be able to work with. And I just want to say I grew up here, I raised my family here, and part of my heart will always be here. Thank you so much.
Go ahead, Chief.
Typically, we have a swearing in at the city council meeting. However, I couldn't get the academy dates and the city council dates to line up, so we're doing things a little different today. But we have 3 new officers that are going to be sworn in on Monday, the following Monday, here at the police department. So I just wanted to introduce those officers to everybody who can't be here. So Daryl Johnson, come on up here. Daryl's from the Polo area. Haley Carr, come on up. Haley's from Lena. And Steve Mittendorf, he is from the Warren area. So these 3 people are going to be going down to the academy. It starts March 25th. They're going to spend 14 weeks in the academy and come back and start their journey with the city of Freeport. So I just want to introduce them and welcome them to the Freeport Police Department. And of course, at the swearing in next Monday at 10 o'clock, everybody's welcome to come see that also. So thank you. The police department, it's a fun night for the police department because we also have 2 promotions that we're going to do tonight. Mark, do you want to come on? The first is Officer Truckenmiller. Devin is Officer Truckenmiller is getting promoted to the rank of corporal. It's the first line in the supervision, and I think everybody can agree that Devin's been at the city council meeting a lot here lately. He's was the police department officer of the year just last week, or last week, just recognized for 5 years of service at the police department. So first of all, I can't say enough about Devin on the job that he does, and he's earned this position for this first promotion. So I think the president of the board has something to.
Official Commission, City of Freeport, Board of Fire and Police Commission, to all to whom these presents shall come. Devin Truckenmiller, having been duly appointed to the office of Corporal in and for the City of Freeport in the County of Stevenson and State of Illinois, for the term from the 15th day of March 2021 until his successor shall be duly appointed and qualified, is hereby fully authorized and empowered to assume and perform all duties of his said office, according to the law and the ordinances of said city, and all persons are required to respect him in the discharge of his said duties. By order of the chairman of the Board of Fire and Police Commission, congratulations, Devin. We're all very proud of you.
Devin, here's your hat badge. Your badge number is now 125. Congratulations.
That's right. My honor, pleasure. Congratulations.
Corporal Sanders. Sorry, Markham. Markham, the bad start already. 20 years of things that I gotta fix. Corporal Markham has been with the police department for over 20 years. And I can't say enough about Corporal Markham. When we had the civil unrest, and I would go around and talk to people about what they wanted to see from the police department, there was 2 officers that always came up in those conversations. Corporal Markham was always the first one that came out of the mouth of those people that were talking to me. You need more officers like Corporal Markham. And I can't say enough about Corporal Markham. One thing that's very special about Corporal Markham is it doesn't matter your rank. It doesn't matter what you do. If you're doing something wrong, Corporal Markham's going to come and talk to you in a professional manner. And it's always professional. And she always does the right thing. I can tell you that because I've been on the end of some of those conversations. But again, it's an honor to be able to promote you to the rank of sergeant.
Pleasure. Official Commission, City of Freeport, Board of Fire and Police Commission, to all to whom these presents shall come, Jolynn Markham, having been duly appointed to the office of Sergeant in for the City of Freeport in the County of Stevenson and State of Illinois, for the term from the 15th day of March 2021 until her successor shall have been duly appointed and qualified, is hereby fully authorized and empowered to assume assume and perform all duties of her said office according to the law and ordinance of said city. And all persons are required to respect her in the discharge of her said duties by order of the chairman of Fire and Police Commission. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
My honor, pleasure, present the stripes to you. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations to each one of you. We will move on to item number 8, which is the Rock River Energy Service Electrical Aggregation Pre-Bid Presentation. Mike Mudge, Managing Partner.
I don't know what he looks like, but
I don't.
Okay, well, I guess we'll move on to item number 9, which is the first reading of Ordinance 2021-09. Madam Clerk, would you please read this for the record?
Ordinance approving lease purchase financing for the purchase of a tool cat.
Thank you. Director Richter?
I think that's him. I think so.
Thank you, Your Honor. On January 4th of this year, City Council approved the purchase of a Bobcat tool cat for use in the Public Works Department. The total cost of the equipment was $60,770. And at that time, it was to be financed for 4 years directly through the dealership of Bobcat at a rate of 3.35%, with monthly payments of $1,354.52. After that approval, we were notified by Bobcat that they were unwilling to finance the purchase. And the reason we were told was because we received such a substantial discount on this piece of equipment, they did not want to also finance the equipment. So at that time, after we were notified, I went to 2 of our local banks, and we got a quote of 2.5% from State Bank, but they also, for the 4-year term, to keep it similar to what we had before and what we have in the budget, that we were going to finance it for 4 years. State Bank also, though, did have a fee of $300. U.S. Bank offered 2.25% for 4 year with no other fees. It is the recommendation of the Finance Department of staff to finance through U.S. Bank at a rate of 2.25% for 4 years. And these funds are already budgeted in the 2021 budget.
Questions, Council? Alderman Parker?
Make a motion to approve it.
Second.
We have a motion made by Alderman Parker, seconded by Alderman Busker. Was there any conversation that anyone would like to have concerning this?
Mayor.
Alderman McClanathan?
Thank you. I just want to say thanks for reaching out to those local entities. Appreciate their willingness to work with us, and I'm sure it's something we'll look at also down the road as the opportunity presents. But the situation for the same price, same term, but they're a lower interest rate. That's a benefit to the city. So good work, everyone.
Madam Mayor,
Alderman Busker?
make a motion to suspend the rules.
I'll second that. Art or I, either one.
Either.
We have a motion on the floor for the suspension of the rules made by Alderman Busker, seconded by Alderman Ross. Suspension of the rules is non-debatable and must pass by a 2/3 majority. Madam Clerk, would you please take the roll on the suspension only?
I'm so sorry. Who was the second on the suspension? Berberay?
Aye.
Mayor, I did note that Alderman Borneman joined at 6:15.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so Borneman, your vote?
Aye.
McClanathan?
Aye.
Ross?
Aye.
Parker?
Aye.
Busker?
Aye.
Brashaw?
Aye.
And Misick.
Aye.
The suspension passes 8-0.
And now before you, council, is the final passage of Ordinance 2021-09. Alderman Brashaw, was there something you wanted to say?
Just that I cannot hear Alderman McClanathan at all.
It's been a long time since I've been here in person, I suppose. I'll speak louder. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anything that anyone would like to add before we have the vote on the passage? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, would you please take the roll?
Berberay.
Aye.
Borneman.
Aye.
McClanathan.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Busker.
Aye.
Brashaw.
Can't hear you, Sally.
Aye.
Thank you. And Misick.
Aye.
And the ordinance passes 8-0.
Thank you. And we'll move back to item number 8, presentation by Mike Mudge. If you're ready, this is for the Rock River Energy Service aggregation, electrical aggregation.
Thank you very much for putting me on the agenda, and for the for the new council members, I wanted to come up and put myself in front of you again. And for the existing council members, I recognize some familiar faces, so that's always nice. By the way, the roads are pretty bad out there, just right outside of town. The wind's blowing pretty good. And I wanted to meet your new Public Works. Is Ron here? Oh, Ron. And I've worked with Ron a little bit last fall, and that was a pleasure. Also wanted to meet Mr. Bucas, Randy. So anyway, so with all that, we'll get into the bids. This will be about our 4th or 5th contract that we're going to be entering into. Our existing contract with Constellation is over in August. So now is a good time to be looking at new bids, and I'm happy with where the new bids are today as compared to the last time we got this. The market actually dropped last spring, and it's held, and it all has to do with the price of natural gas. So we don't know where that's going to go. Does everyone have a bid sheet that we sent last March? All right. Constellation's not on this. For some reason, they couldn't get us a bid, but when we bring bids back on, I believe, April 5th, we will have Constellation back on the bid sheet. But so since this is preliminary, if things stand the way they are right now and Constellation's typical, Dynegy would be our best option for the residents. Since there's a lot of new members on the council and that, I didn't know if there might be any questions about the program, and that's one reason I wanted to come and come back up and address the council.
Does anyone have questions?
Pretty clear. Thank you.
Okay. I'll probably, when I send the new bids up in a few weeks, I probably won't be coming back to the meeting, but I'll speak with Randy again that night. Pretty much going to look the same as what this sheet is. So it's good to be able to come back and address the council again. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And travel safe. We will move on to item number 10, which is the first reading of Ordinance 2021-10. Madam Clerk, would you please read this?
Ordinance amending Chapter 1034, Outdoor Parklets and Sidewalk Cafes, Section 1034.05, fees, and duration of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Freeport to temporarily expand the license duration.
Thank you. Director Hines.
Thank you. So the city's outdoor parklets and sidewalk cafes are normally permitted from May 1 to November 1 on, every year, and we would like to request a temporary extension to allow businesses to open their outdoor parklets or sidewalk cafes starting April 1. So obviously restaurants have been one of the hardest hit businesses during COVID, and we've heard requests from businesses that they would like to open up earlier. The weather today is not conducive to that, but it has been the past week, and it is going to be again coming up soon. So I had talked with Director Boyer about if he thought snow would be an issue or not, and we don't anticipate it to be any worse than it was today, and we expect it to melt quickly too if it does snow again. So the outdoor seating, it would encourage more patrons to come to restaurants if they feel more comfortable sitting outside, and hopefully bring more business to the restaurants who have been hard hit this past year. So we would recommend the approval of this, and we would need to have a suspension of the rules if council approves.
Thank you, Director. Questions?
Madam Mayor.
Alderman Busker?
Yes, what's the idea, the reasoning for the temporary expansion? Why wouldn't we just look at this maybe to just kind of add that extra month here on out?
Yeah, I think normally the time frame, I assume it was built in that way for snow in case there was snow during the month of April. But that would be something that if council wanted to look at expanding it, just moving forward, that I personally would be on board with.
Madam Mayor, follow up.
Sure.
Yeah, my thought is just, if, we come back every year and adjusting something, it's going to start getting confusing. So, I'm in favor of this, open up as many options to our businesses as we can. I'd just like to see I'd like to amend the motion to exclude the temporarily and just expand it to April 1st.
Second.
Well, we have a motion on the floor made by Alderman Busker, seconded by Alderman Parker to adopt ordinance, to move ordinance 2021-10 on with the change of removing the word temporary to be just expanding that time. Is there questions concerning just that portion of it to remove the word temporary?
Mayor?
Alderman McClanathan?
Thank you. One, it was a great idea bringing that forward. I appreciate you guys looking at how you can help the businesses here that are hurt. The only question I would have is, Director Boyer, do you think generally, obviously you can have some outliers, but do you generally think that the April designation on an annual basis would largely impact your guys' services, or do you think it should be good to go if we move forward with this on a permanent basis? Yeah, I support it. Okay, great, thank you.
Madam Mayor.
I couldn't hear what Mr. Boyer said.
He was in favor. Alderman Busker, did you have something?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion made by Alderman Busker, seconded by Alderman Parker for the suspension of the rules. Again, suspension of the rules is non-debatable and must pass by a 2/3 majority. Madam Clerk, could you please take the roll on the suspension?
Berberay?
Aye.
Borneman?
Aye.
McClanathan?
Aye.
Ross?
Aye.
Parker?
Aye.
Busker?
Aye.
Brashaw?
Aye.
And Misick.
Aye.
The suspension passes 8-0.
So now before you, council, is the final passage for ordinance 2021-10. Any further discussion? Madam Clerk, please take the roll.
Berberay?
Aye.
Borneman?
Aye.
McClanathan?
Aye.
Ross?
Aye.
Parker?
Aye.
Busker?
Aye.
Brashaw?
Aye.
And Misick.
Aye.
The ordinance passes 8-0.
Thank you. Item number 11 is the adoption of Resolution 2021-07. Could you please read this?
Resolution authorizing withdrawal from membership in a subpool and authorizing a petition for full membership in and the terms of membership with the Intergovernmental Personnel Benefits Cooperative, or IPBC.
Manager Bucus.
Thank you, Your Honor. The city joined the Intergovernmental Personal Benefit Corporation, also known as IPBC, in 2019 to save on health care premiums and out-of-pocket costs. The city was placed in a subpool of 8 other units of local government, and we were rated at that time. That's based on our usage and experience with the other members of the subpool. Effective on July 1, 2021, the IPBC has put out a new rating scenario in place that separates the governance and the rating process for the subpool. Members of subpools will no longer be rated together as a group, but based on their membership size. Because of the size of our membership, we have 166 employees that are enrolled. We are eligible to participate as an individual member. We have previously informed IBPC that we intend to withdraw from the Q-CHIP subpool that we belong to and become an individual member. The city has saved on its premiums since we've joined the IPBC as an organization within the subpool. Since we're going to be rated on our own, our incoming health insurance premiums for 2021 and 2022 is going to go up about 0.2%, or about $6,300 increase in our annual premium. Our dental insurance is going to go down. It's going to decrease by 3.9%, or roughly $2,400. Staff's recommendation that the City Council pass resolution number 2021-07 to withdraw from the Q-CHIP subpool and join IPBC as a regular member.
Council.
Mayor.
Alderman McClanathan.
Thank you. One, yes, we definitely have recognized significant savings by going to this change, and I appreciate the change on that. What do you see as the benefit to going individually as opposed to being part of a subpool in our current situation?
Right. Currently, being part of subpool wouldn't give us any additional benefits because we would still be rated as an individual. Where we benefit is on the governance, because now we have a direct vote on any matters that comes before it rather than through the subpool.
Thank you.
Additional questions, Council?
Madam Mayor?
Alderman Brashaw.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion for adoption of Resolution R-2021-07.
Second.
Second that.
Thank you. We have a motion made by Alderman Brashaw, seconded by Alderman McClanathan. Unless there's any further discussion, Madam Clerk, could you please take the roll on the adoption of resolution?
Berberay.
Aye.
Borneman.
Aye.
McClanathan.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Busker.
Aye.
Brashaw.
Aye.
And Misick.
Aye.
The resolution is adopted 8-0.
Thank you. Item number 12 is the adoption of resolution 2021-08. Could you please read this?
Resolution authorizing and approving an airport management and fixed-based operator agreement with Angie Jansen, doing business as Freeport Flight Center.
Thank you. Manager Bucus.
Thank you, Your Honor. On August 18, 2018, the City of Freeport entered into a contract with Darrell O. Jensen, doing business as Freeport Flight Center, to be the fixed-base operator and manage the Albertus Airport. The contract is set to expire on August 18, 2021. Mr. Jensen passed away a couple of weeks ago, and his daughter, Angie Jensen, desires to carry on with the contract and provide the airport service. The proposed contract contains the same terms and conditions as the existing contract. In May of 2021, the city will begin the process of advertising for a fixed-base operator, airport manager. Ms. Jensen has been a reliable part of that operation at Albertus Airport. Staff recommends that the City Council waive any bidding process and approve the resolution and contract with Angie Jensen for a short-term lease at the airport.
Thank you. Alderman Parker?
Motion to approve that.
Second.
We have a motion made by Alderman Parker, seconded by Alderman Ross for the adoption of Resolution 2021-08. Angie is here with us tonight. For those of you that have not met her, she's in the back there. Angie, we appreciate you coming in, and our condolences on the passing of your dad. Any questions for Manager Bucus? Madam Clerk, would you please take the roll on the adoption?
Berberay.
Aye.
Orneman.
Aye.
McClanathan.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Busker.
Aye.
Brashaw.
Aye.
And Misick.
Aye.
The resolution is adopted 8-0.
Thank you, and thank you, Angie. Item number 13 is a motion to approve a proposal, Fire Department monitor defibrillators. Chief Liggett?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The City Council approved part of its 2021 Fire Improvement Fund budget, a request to replace 3 heart monitors, whose technology is no longer approved for service by the FDA. Originally, these monitor defibrillators needed to be removed from service by February 1st, 2021. As a result of COVID-19, the FDA extended the deadline to February 1st, 2022. We moved forward with the project in this budget year to meet the FDA deadline and take advantage of the 2020 pricing. I've included in my staff report a project timeline. When we posted the bids, took information from the vendors and offered question and answer sessions, things like that. The bids were opened on March 1st, 2021 at 1 p.m. And there is a bid tabulation attached to this report. Fire Department Administration sought proposals from Stryker Physio Control, Phillips, and Zoll. We published the RFP in the Freeport Journal-Standard, and we received an intent to bid from Zoll, a declination to bid from Stryker Physio Control, and no response from Phillips. Our current monitor defibrillator platform is Zoll, so all of our automatic external defibrillators that we carry on the engines, and then also all of our defibrillators on the ambulance are Zoll products. We received 2 bids from Zoll. Bid number 1 met our bid specifications, and the net proposal after trade-in is $98,835.87. And bid 2 exceeded our bid expectations with a net proposal after trade-in of $105,034.35. The technology that's available in bid 2 was not available to us when we priced out when we did the budget for this last year. This technology recently came out after the first of the year and is a significant advancement on what we have. The features of ventilation quality improvement and traumatic brain injury monitoring are advanced features that will assist us in active artificial ventilation quality monitoring and changing physiological condition of anyone with a severe head injury or stroke. Taking advantage of this technology will place us with the best technology available in our ambulances here in Freeport. This aligns with our strategic plan. This improves our critical emergency care capacity, and this purchase will give us the most up-to-date technology for cardiac care and monitoring defibrillator that is able to be upgraded in the future. The equipment should serve us for about a 10-year lifespan. Funding, the Fire Improvement Fund has $90,000 budgeted for this project. This would easily cover the bid number 1. Bid number 2, there's a gap of about $15,034.35. We have additional funds available in the Fire Improvement Fund that were set aside for miscellaneous projects. And then we have some leftover money from the SCBA bottle project that you approved our last council meeting. This gives us $15,225 for us to be able to purchase the more advanced monitor defibrillator. So I'm requesting the council accept the bid for the X Series Advanced, which is bid number 2, and authorize the purchase of the 3 defibrillators for $105,304.35. Excuse me, $34.35.
Madam Mayor?
Alderman Bradshaw?
Thank you. Chief Leggett, thank you very much for your presentation, and it sounds like these units are what we need, and of course they will save lives. But can you answer me this question? Is this the same unit that has the blood pressure cuff and pulse oximetry on it? In other words, is this the all-inclusive unit?
Yes, ma'am. These units are upgraded to now include pulse oximetry, capnography, which measures the amount of carbon dioxide leaving your system as you exhale. It has the ability to measure carbon monoxide. So on carbon monoxide poisonings, it will measure the amount of carbon dioxide in the bloodstream. It will also do blood pressures. It is an external pacemaker. So if we have a person who has a heart that is malfunctioning in a way that it's still beating but not fast enough, we will be able to apply pads and do external pacing. It's a defibrillator, so when there's no or a very erratic heart rhythm, no organized heart rhythm, we can defibrillate the heart and get it back organized. So there's some great features on here. And then the data feedback that we get on the main screen is the features that we spoke about, the added features on the feedback on how our respiratory effort or our quality of our artificial respirations are. And then in the blood pressure monitoring and the carbon dioxide monitoring, we will get back information from the monitor on the actual condition of the brain and brain swelling. So that's an added feature that's not available in any other product today.
Madam Mayor?
Alderman Bradshaw?
With the information presented to us, to me, it's an easy sell. I would like to make a motion for approval of this bid as stated for $105,034.35 for bid number 2.
Second.
We have a motion made by Alderman Bradshaw, seconded by Alderman Busker for approval of the bid number 2. Is there further discussion?
Mayor.
Alderman McClanathan?
Thank you. Chief Liggett, it's Alderman McClanathan. I support the project. The only question I had was you had indicated there's about a little under 1,200 that you're going to have to, I suppose, switch from miscellaneous capital expenses. At this point in the fiscal year, had you identified what those projects would be that are going to now need to be deferred, or were they to date unidentified projects?
Yes, sir. There is currently included in my staff report as an explanation of that. I have $11,825 budgeted for miscellaneous capital expenses. That's not been earmarked for anything at this point. And then I have $30,400 left from the SCBA bottle project, which you approved, which we approved the last council meeting. That gives me a total of $15,225 to cover that difference.
Follow-up, Mayor? Understood. Well, what I was asking was, out of that miscellaneous capital expenses, did you have at this point any identified projects that you know you're going to be deferring, or was it still just miscellaneous at this stage?
I did not have any miscellaneous projects, sir.
I think in that light, it's even more, beneficial with the benefits that you're getting there. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Madam Mayor?
Go ahead.
Thank you. Chief Liggett, can you give us some idea as to how many times the current equipment has been used over the last year or so? Is it strictly residents in Freeport? Do we go beyond out of the rural area? What is the extent of use of previous equipment as well as, of course, the new technology that's going to be presented?
We respond to approximately, the last time I checked, we had 46 cardiac arrests. I did that in a preparation for a presentation on the Lucas device. So on average per year, about 40 cardiac arrests. But we don't use this technology just on a cardiac arrest. We will use it on a trauma call where someone's in a traumatic car accident or caught in machinery or shot, someone who has fallen from a roof, if we have someone who has shortness of breath, who has carbon monoxide poisoning. Our monitors are typically used probably on about 60% of our emergency medical services calls. And that, I would say, at least probably about 3,000 calls a year.
Thank you for that background. It's very impressive.
Yep.
Anything further, council? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, would you please take the roll on the approval?
Berberay.
Aye.
Borneman.
Aye.
McClanathan.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Busker.
Aye.
Brashaw.
Aye.
Meissick.
Aye.
The motion passes 8-0.
Thank you. Item number 14 is a motion for approval to add a position of part-time utility building clerk in the Water and Sewer Customer Service. Manager Bucus?
Thank you, Your Honor. Previously, the City Council had approved hiring a person in the data entry clerk's position within the utility department. This position was a representative position that had its grade range removed in the last contract, and this grade position is higher than what the skills that are needed for the job. Because we are creating another representative part-time position, I thought we better bring this forward to council for your approval. We have presented our position to the union, and they have agreed that to the job description in the pay grade, we're looking at a pay grade of 4, and the data entry clerk was at grade paid level of 11. So there's considerable salary difference. Also, with the possibility of retirements coming forward, we've got one person that's been with the city for almost 30 years and two for almost 20 years. We'd like to create and hire a part-time utility billing clerk. This person would work 15 to 19 hours per week, and it'll give us an opportunity to train someone in the case and in all aspects of the utility division, and then move them into a full-time position when a vacancy occurs. And so staff's recommending that council approve the utility billing clerk position and the hiring of that person.
Alderman Parker?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion made by Alderman Parker, seconded by Alderman Busker for the approval of the added position. Was there any discussion, council? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please take the roll.
Berberay.
Aye.
Borneman.
Aye.
McClanathan.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Busker.
Aye.
Brashaw.
Aye.
Meissick.
Aye.
Motion passes 8-0.
Thank you. Move on to item number 15, which is report from department heads. Finance? Thank you. Community development? Thank you. Public Works?
Just two things, Your Honor. I just wanted to report on the status of well 11. As many of you are aware, we've had a few ups and downs with the production status of that. I'm happy to report today at the end of business, they made a 1,120 feet, and it's moving forward. I expect that by the end of the week, they'll have the pilot bit down to the full depth, and they'll begin reaming out from 650 feet approximately down to the design level. So happy to report on that. And the last thing I have for tonight is we have a meeting scheduled for tomorrow on the Empire project, the Empire Street project. We'll be having some of the folks that live over there come and talk to us about their driveways and things that we'll be making improvements on. So just wanted to let everyone know that. If I don't have any questions, thank you very much.
Thank you. Chief Liggett.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just wanted to let the council know that one of our fire recruits is going to be completing the Fire Academy at the Northern Illinois Fire Training Center in Glenview. We're going to be going into Glenview this Wednesday to observe and participate in fire training with the recruit. So I'll have a chance to get dirty with them and see how they do in the fire environment. They do not have an in-person graduation on Friday as a result of COVID, but we're awful proud of our firefighter Uriel Cantu, who's done exceptionally well through the whole academy, and he'll be returning to duty next week after having the weekend off. So very, very proud of him. We're working on some smoke detector things. We're going to roll out some more smoke detector information on our Facebook page this week. We're exploring some different options, making sure that we have a good supply of detectors for moving forward. But an idea that we're bumping around and would appreciate the council support when we're out there doing things is we would like to canvass an area that is affected by fire. So if we have a fire on Pleasant Street, go up and down that block and make sure everybody on that block has smoke detectors. What part of our plan to make a holistic approach to getting the compliance? Let's see. Everything else is going just fine. COVID is calming down and not affecting the department like it was. So let's keep on that tack, and I think we're set up for a good year so far. Thank you for the support also on the defibrillators. I know the troops appreciate it.
Thank you, Chief. Chief Summers?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just wanted a quick update on the Shot Spotter program. Letters have gone out. They've ordered the sensors, and the sensors should be in soon. So they should be going up on the buildings, and we're just going to facilitate some contact with some of the buildings they're having trouble with to speed that up. That sounds like everything's right on course and should be up and running by the date that they said they would.
Good, thank you. IT? And library?
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to report that at our board meeting last week, we did finalize reopening the library until 8 p.m. So starting on April 5th, the library will be open Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., Fridays, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then also on Wednesday, we have our in-person but also virtual event with the Underground Railroad expert that will be across the street at Masonic Hall at 6:30 p.m. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Director. And Angie, this could be your first opportunity if you would like to report anything on the airport, where the mic is open for you. Hey, she declined, so okay, thank you. We'll move on to item number 16, which is City Manager's Report.
Thank you, Your Honor. First, I'd like to announce that the city received an Illinois Environmental Protection Agency grant for unsewered communities in the amount of $2.4 million. This money is going to be used to put sanitary sewers in on Oak Hill, Hillcrest, and Sylvan Court, which currently do not have any sanitary sewers. The grant is supposed to be available come about the middle of June, but by the time we do all the paperwork, we may or may not be able to start this project yet this fall. Our goal is to try to, but if we can't, it may be a spring of 2022 project. Also for council's information, we've been monitoring the Pecatonica River. The reports that we might be approaching 12.5 feet. Action stage is 11.5 feet, and flood stage is 13.5 feet. It did make it up to 12.46 feet, so the prediction when that projection that was made was pretty close. But since Friday afternoon, it's been going down, and hopefully this little bit of snow we just had won't impact it at all. But we are going to be monitoring it because it's going to be a little bit above 11.5 for the rest of the week. And that's all I have for tonight, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to
Mayor?
add to, yes.
Just a brief question.
Sure.
Thank you. That $2.4 million grants, that does not require a match from the city?
That is correct. This is fully funded by the IEPA.
Excellent, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's great news. In fact, what I was going to talk about is to add on to that, what Manager Bucas has, and then what I was going to report on will be giving us an additional $5 million worth of not having to match. The city received word last Tuesday with the signing of the American Rescue Plan that we will be receiving $2.9 million to go towards water and sewer projects. We should receive half of that within 60 days and the other half within a year. We will be spending approximately $700,000 towards the late 1800s replacement of water and sewer on the Chicago Avenue project, and then the remainder of that will be determined based upon our capital plan. So happy to say that that's a lot of money, over $5 million worth of water and sewer infrastructure needs being met at no cost to the city. And then also just a reminder to the council or any of the listening audience that that Chief had alluded to earlier, the swearing in of those officers will be on Monday morning at 10 a.m. here in City Council. So if anyone wants to join us, you're welcome to. That would leave us on to council business, which would be Alderman Berberet.
Nothing to report, Your Honor.
Thank you. Alderman Borneman?
Nothing for me, thanks.
Thank you. Alderman McClanathan?
Nothing further, thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Ross?
Nothing, Mayor.
Thank you. Alderman Parker?
Nothing, Your Honor.
All right. Alderman Busker?
I'm going to go along with the group. Nothing.
And Alderman Brashaw?
I have just a few words. I would hope everyone in Freeport would get out and vote. We have local elections, and instead of complaining about how things are done, people can be active, take an active role, and actually vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Mysick?
Thanks. Thanks, Madam Mayor. Just wanted to say congratulations to all of those who were recognized this evening. Excited to have a growing team, and as well excited for some of the items that came forward in council tonight. To see these defibrillators in use is really going to be a great thing for Freeport, and I also would like to encourage everyone to get out and vote. Thank you.
Thank you. That leaves us with item number 19, which is public comments. Are there any public comments this evening? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, then item number 20 is executive session. Could you please read this?
We will only be using exemption 1, the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, specific individuals who serve as independent contractors in a park, recreational, educational setting, or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity.
Thank you. Is there a motion to enter into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion made by Alderman Ross, seconded by Alderman Berberet. Madam Clerk, could you please take the roll?
Berberet.
Aye.
Borneman.
Aye.
McClanathan.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Busker.
Aye.
Brashaw.
Aye.
Mysick.
Aye.
Motion passes 8-0.
Okay, thank you. Have a good evening.